What's going on, guys? So today we're talking about this absolute beast monster thrower. This is a Thrunite TN42 V2. All right, so this is their version 2 of their original very successful TN42. I actually own a TN42. I've had it for years now, and I gifted that one to my father, who uses it where he lives, where there's a big wide open area. He really needs to be able to throw light and see things out in the field and all across the pond and all kinds of places around the property. And it really comes in handy. He uses it constantly. So this is just the newer version. I think it's like 16% brighter. This flashlight costs $300. It is not a drop in the bucket. It is a serious flashlight for someone who has a serious need for all this extra power and throw, maybe a searchlight, maybe some kind of rescue team or something. If you do live out in a farm or in farm country, and you need to really just throw light out to be able to see something. For a lot of farmers, that might mean protecting livestock from, say, I don't know, wolves, possibly coyotes, things like that, where you really need to just look out and see what's going on, all right? And then you can take care of business if need be. So this light, because it's $300, I didn't buy a $300 flashlight, so I got this one just to try out, but I am currently working on a trade so I can keep this model and I can replace the original TN42. So I left this in the box here so you guys can see what comes with it. All right now, obviously, it does come with a shoulder strap, which I'm going to talk about in a second because I did use that. So looking down here, we got our paperwork. Put that off to the side. Shoulder strap would have been in this position there. We have, of course, the charger for it. This is a Type-C charger, which is fantastic, okay? So it speeds up the charging time, a lot more power transfer, which is really nice. Our accessories pack, we have two spare O-rings. We have a spare rubber cap for underneath our clicky switch, and we also have a spare door cap, all right, in case that happened, like charging door cap. And there's also a split ring in here as well, all right. Underneath that, we have another piece of paper here. All right, two of them. This is get a free keychain light, all right, and a warranty extension. So, how to get a free keychain light? Follow the steps. Have any ideas or suggestions to help us improve our products or service? Email them there. You guys can see that information. Free gift will be sent to you within 3 days. Pretty cool. So, enjoy our products. Hope we have your support. 30 days, worry-free return and refund, and 2 years plus 1 year free replacement for defective items. All right, I talked about this many years ago, but specifically with Thrunite, I've had really good luck with their lights. The original, I think the TN12. TN12 was just a lemon. I've probably gone through 3 or 4 of those before. Just not a good model. I'd stay away from it personally. But I know people who've had no problems with them. So, you know, kind of is what it is. What is this? Gift card. Thrunite gift card. Subscribe to Thrunite YouTube channel and get a free flashlight. So, and then you have a little IR code. I don't know if you can, or QR code, whatever it is. I don't know if you can scan that through the video or not. But, of course, all their social media stuff. All right, I'm sure you could just Google that. Everyone knows how to search the internet, right? So anyway, I just want to show this real quick. I am going to flash this tech spec page. This way I don't have to just repeat myself. Let me get that out of the way. All right, this way you guys can see the breakdown for output and run times. There is a low, medium, high strobe, turbo, and firefly. So here's the English. All right, so you can pause the screen right there. You can see all the outputs and run times. All right, all the tech specs. So it's really interesting. That is not even English, is it? I'm looking at it again. Okay, there's the English. That was pretty close to English, though. I think that maybe it was German. I don't know. It looked English for me for a second until I started really reading it, and then I couldn't. All right, so there is the English, okay, and then on the bottom here you can see again there's the warranty, warnings as well, all right, and then there is the operation. Pretty simple stuff. So yeah, let's move on to the light. That's what you guys care about, right? I just know some of the flashlight people really do care about all those details. It's all in the details, right? So this has a shoulder strap because it's a big, heavy light. Right, so the idea is this hangs, you know, underneath, grab like this, it hangs underneath the shoulder like this. So this is sitting on your side. And, you know, the pictures that I've seen for these before is literally just over your right shoulder as if you're wearing like a pocketbook or something. and you just kind of like hold it there, but it's supporting the weight of light because the light is heavy. I don't know offhand, I don't know if it was even in there, the actual weight with the batteries in here. It's got to be maybe, I don't know, 2 pounds, 3 pounds, something like that. It doesn't seem like much. You can obviously wield it. It's not like, you know, you're not at the gym just doing curls with this thing. Although I'm sure you could maybe build a little muscle. But like, you know, if you're using this for an extended period of time, yeah, it's going to get heavy. So it's nice having the strap. I did not like the strap, how they, I guess, show how to use it, which is just straight down on your right shoulder or left shoulder if you're lefty. It just kept slipping. This is a thin little, just, you know, smooth nylon, whatever it is. And I found that if I loosened the strap more and gave myself a bigger loop like this, and I wore it crossbody, so it was on my left shoulder, but sitting on the right side, it worked out beautifully. So I would definitely recommend crossbody. It is adjustable, so you know, depending on how big you are, it doesn't matter if you're a really big dude. I'm a fairly big guy, and I had no problem. I still have plenty of adjustment here to make it even bigger. All right, so it would work for everyone. Really interesting. You can see on the bottom here, there's a couple of spots all around. This just has a kind of crab claw. All right, so you can attach that anywhere. But if you look at the front here, how this strap works is it's just, let me zoom in. You pinch this together, there's 2 channels on either side. All right, so you really have to kind of pinch that together and slide it in, and you can see how that works. So this, you know, sits on both slots on either side. Now what's interesting too is once this is in, it kind of just sticks up. It doesn't cover the button, which is a good thing because you want to be able to access that. But it's just kind of, it's either from here or to here. Like there's very little movement in it. Not necessarily a bad thing because I guess if there was more movement, it would end up just rubbing on the body and scratching it. So maybe there's a reason for that, but pretty simple setup. But you can see you can only have it so that the button is up. All right, turning around, there's no other spot for this end to attach to. All right, but yes, very useful. Definitely recommend crossbody though. And of course we have our charging port on the back. Again, Type-C charger, which is really nice. And I talked about the trap door. That's what I meant with this rubber piece. I've never had a problem with it accidentally ripping off or anything, but I have heard people in different flashlights, anything that has a charging side, usually has a rubber cap to keep it somewhat water resistant. And some people have those tear, you know, so if it does tear or something like that, you do get a spare, which is very nice. All right, you can see flat bottom, but then we have these little ears that stick up, obviously, for the attachment points. This does, of course, because it's wide, it tail stands, which is super important, I think, for this one, too, because if you wanted to use this indoors, this will light up. I mean, I have vaulted ceilings. Like, my house is mostly this room that I'm in, okay? This is, like, the largest room in the house, and there's just tiny little bedrooms and bathrooms. And it lights it up like it's day. It really is ridiculous. The full output, the highest output, is 4,848 lumens, okay? So really pushing upwards of the high 4s there. Almost 5,000 lumens is no joke. It is extremely bright. So I could put this even in this room and just turn on turbo, and the entire room lights up brighter than the bulbs that I have in my ceiling fans and actual lighting for the room. So if you wanted to do that in emergency, obviously you could. You're not going to get those long run times. So if you have power outage for 6-8 hours, you're not going to obviously leave it in turbo. But if it's something you want to do, it will absolutely light up most rooms. Okay, even if you had a massive room, it would still be dimly lit, the whole thing. Now you can see the huge head on this. Okay, I mean it's huge. Okay, I can't really even cup it in my palm. Completely smooth reflector, extremely deep reflector. And what this does is this focuses all 4,848 lumens down to a tight little beam, which just goes on and on and on. It really is a throw monster. At the end of this video, because sometimes I'll post it like as a separate video. I don't always film when I'm doing flashlight, testing and stuff like that. It's just obviously, even with a bright flashlight, the lighting's hard. It's hard to see what's going on except for what's actually lit. But I did do some testing, out in the open, so you guys can get an idea, maybe compared to some other flashlights, specifically the original TN42, which I think I tested the same place. So stay tuned to the end of the video, and you will see some actual beam shots and stuff for the people who care. So looking all the way down in the bottom of this beast, all right, that's where it's all happening right there, that LED, which is a newer SBT90.2 LED. It's kind of like blade steels. There's definitely people who are into knives that know nothing about blade steels, and there's plenty of people who like flashlights and know nothing about the specific LEDs. The LED is pretty much half the story because you have to be able to power it. Okay, so that amazing high-powered LED you're running on a AA battery, it's not going to do much, right? But when you have the proper power, it is just a fantastic combo. So let's take this massive head off of here. All right, we can get to the batteries, right? What's actually powering all of that light. Okay, so you can see we have 4 cells in here. And what's nice is that, obviously, you can see that the pack is built into the base. All right, so it just makes it really easy to pop these in here. Obviously, it's all positive up. And we have 4,000 milliamp hour, 21700 cells. These are all lithium ions, of course, rechargeable. All right, obviously Thrunite branded. If you were to replace batteries, like let's say you want to get a second set, so you can do a quick transfer to keep your light going, which is a great idea, by the way, even though this is running on the Type-C charger and it does charge fairly fast. Most times I charge overnight, so I can't really time it. Occasionally I'll time like how long it takes to actually charge some cells during the day, but obviously at night I don't know because it's done charging before I wake up usually. So this was all done before I woke up. I want to say I went to bed at, I don't know, maybe 10 o'clock, 10:30 that night, and just charged it overnight and woke up the next day around 8 in the morning, something like that, and it was fully charged. So, you know, I couldn't tell you exactly what it is. Obviously, you just have to test that yourself. Or I'm sure if you went to Candle Power Forums, which is a flashlight forum, someone out there did all this testing. That website really is amazing. If you're into flashlights like as a hobby, definitely worth checking out. But anyway, my point was that for these huge lights that have, you know, less output, or excuse me, less runtime for those crazy outputs, some people just get spare sets of batteries. You know what I'm saying? These 21700s, if you get 8 more of them online, you know, and get a dedicated charger, you can have 2 second sets, so that when these actually die out, if you want to use turbo mode for a while, or if you want to use high, whatever it is, when these die out, you don't have to sit and charge it. You just put those aside, throw in a new set of 4. When those die, throw in a new set of 4. You can do it as many times as you want, whatever you want to spend on batteries. I don't think it's necessary to have multiple sets, but just one backup set is a great idea, specifically in an emergency. Okay, so let's say you are using this for a power outage or something. This is your go-to light, whatever the case is. Uh-oh, I forgot to charge it last time. It's starting to get dim on me. Well, I'll just throw in a new set. It's just easier than waiting for it to charge. And in that case, you're not going to be able to easily charge it unless you have all different ways to charge it without your normal power source. So operation is like most Thrunite flashlights. Or if I do a long press from the off, you get that firefly mode. This firefly mode is going to last you 180 days. Okay, now you can see on the low mode, this is obviously the lowest mode, but you can see that dark spot in the middle. Okay, that's because it's collecting all that light and transferring it to the middle, but because the head's so big, that doesn't really focus unless you pull it back, let's say, to here. Now this is just arm's length, so I don't know, 3 feet, something like that, 3.5 feet, and you lose that dark spot in the middle. But just turning the flashlight on, again, you got to push and hold the cycle. Now you can see the blue means we're all charged up. Nice, obviously it goes red if you need to charge it. So low, medium, high, right? Double click. I already feel, by the way, the heat right here on high. I could feel that heat. Double click for turbo, which is even warmer. All right, 4,848 lumens. I'm laughing because it's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. All right, so quick word of warning for the people who might have epilepsy watching. Sometimes I'll give warnings, sometimes I forget. I forget that some people can't see that flashing light. They might have a problem. I'm going to put it in strobe mode, okay? So strobe mode, 3 clicks, and then we have our strobe. This is one continuous strobe pattern. I've talked about this with certain flashlights. I do like when it changes up the wavelength. So what I mean by that is like strobe is like, okay, blink, 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 fast. But sometimes different types of flashlights, I don't know if Thrunite actually does this. There's other brands that do this, but it goes flash, 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 and then it might slow down. Flash, 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 flash. You know what I mean? And by changing those wavelengths, it makes it even harder for your eyes to adjust. Now, if it's pitch black out and you point this at someone's face and you turn on turbo, their eyes aren't adjusting anytime soon. However, with different flashlights, different highest outputs and things like that, if you're looking at strobe long enough, you can kind of adjust your eyes to it a little bit. But when you change that wavelength, it makes it much harder. So I kind of like that when it changes it up. It's such a minor detail. It means nothing. It really does. But it's just, I don't know. I figured I'd mention it. So, yeah, I mean, this thing, it's a beast. It is a complete beast. I do like the upgrades to the original. The regular TN42, fantastic. I think it's like $260 or something, $260, which is still not a drop in the bucket. It is extremely expensive. At that point, I don't know why you would. If you're going to spend $260 on a flashlight that's like, you know, purpose driven like this, to be like a searchlight or something that really reaches out like ridiculously far. By the way, you're going to need binoculars with this because this actually shines farther than you will be able to see. Okay, you'll maybe shine out to a field or way up into a tree line or something, look at a treetop, you know, out in the distance. You're not going to physically be able to see what it's lighting up. Okay, so this definitely pairs with binoculars or a monocular or a spotting scope or something like that. So just as a like an aside, okay, you definitely can't see how far this is actually going. But yeah, if you're going to spend $260 on the original, I don't know why you wouldn't spend another $40 and get this one, this version. But it's not cheap. $300. I mean, most of you guys watching, you're going to go, yeah, cool. Nope, not for me. I don't have $300 for a flashlight. Even if I have $300, I might not want to spend it on a flashlight. But for the serious enthusiast, and you know, more so, even you know, past the collectors, because yes, there's a ton of flashlight collectors, believe it or not. But even beyond them, it's purpose driven. So if you are like, you know, a rescue person, or you do search missions, or like I said, you have an actual purpose for this, being a farmer looking at animals or something. If you really have a need for something like this, it's available. You know what I mean? But it's not for everyone by any means. If you were to go camping or something like that, this, I mean, if you're one of those people that worry about weight, forget about it because it's heavy. It's heavy, it's big, it's bulky. This, I mean, you have the cardboard case it came with, but there's no storage case. This is something that you would want to put in, let's say, those hard cases, you know, with the pluck foam. I was just talking about the Kong case not too long ago. Now, when you see the demo at the end of the video here, you're going to see that this makes a giant beam. It's like, you know, I don't know if they even do it anymore, but when you like have a, I don't know, some kind of award ceremony or maybe like a brand new movie that came out somewhere or something, and they have those like spotlights that kind of, they're huge, huge spotlights that shine the sky and like, they just kind of flash around. You know what I'm talking, I mean, maybe some of you guys know what I'm talking about, maybe you don't. But you can see that for miles and miles. You know, some events going on, it's cool. That's what this reminds me of. Now, granted, it's pollen season. Do you know what I mean? And the bugs are starting to come out. So when I'm filming the demo on this, and you see all that light, and you see stuff floating around, that's pollen. Those are bugs. It's all kinds of different stuff, dust that's in the air, and that's what's refracting that light back to me. That's why you can see the beam. Okay, it has to do with everything. It could be the humidity. Maybe there's some mist in the air. You know, things like that. So all those different factors do play into whether you could see the beam of a flashlight at night or not. You know, some nights are great. Some nights you could see, I mean, any flashlight, you'll have this thick beam of light. It's almost like you have a lightsaber outside. You know, you could swing it around like a sword, which is just really fun. There's no way around it. It's just fun stuff. And on other nights, you have a really powerful flashlight like this, and you don't really see much. But it just so happened to be enough stuff, particulates, floating around the air where it bounced off, and you're able to see that beam pretty good. But yeah, that is not here nor there. So I'm just going to get right to the demo. So if you guys are interested in some meme shots and stuff, check it out. It's coming up right now. I'm out in the open here to do a demo on the TN42 version 2. So let's first start on the lawn here. All right, this thing is just, I mean, it's ridiculous. So you can see the tree line, actually all the way up into that tree line. And you can see the spill even, like, you obviously have the constant beam, but you can actually see all around it as well. It really is something else. It's pretty amazing. But let's follow this. All right. Now the edge of the water right here, I know is about 50 to 60 yards. About, I mean, just maybe like, I don't know, mid 50s, 54, 55, something like that. Going across the water, you can see the other end of the pond, which I know is 100 yards. All right, there's the little duck house down there. All right, going past that, we have the second tree line. Let's find a specific spot here. So there's a tree line, top of those trees. And then it's hard for you guys to see. Actually, let me put the phone down for a second. Zoom in. See if that helps. There we go. So this side of the pond. All right, following the water. There's the other side, there's 100 yards. Just lights up the entire area. All right, going up past the tree line.
Now I see that split in the middle. That is up into the field. That's over 300 yards, the peak there. And then those woods are well 500 yards away. Now obviously the image is a little blurry because I'm on a cell phone zoomed in all the way. But this is serious, serious light. So going back to 100 yards, you can clearly see the trees, and there's a path over there. You can see it very well. Pretty amazing, amazing stuff. So let me zoom back out here. All right, now tonight is actually a pretty clear night, but you could still see this kind of beam, like this laser beam. You know what I'm saying? So it's picking up little dust particles in the air, little bugs flying around, things like that. But it really is something. Let me tap my screen to focus again. All right, this little the little field out that way, that's well 100 yards away, a little more than 100 yards. It really is something. So just insane light. But you could see when you're closer, you have this automatic spill. If I hold the light way out here, there you go, you can see the light. See how much spill there is? So you have this super concentrated beam, but you're still getting a massive, massive wide beam just in front of you. So if you happen to be in an open area, or even over here, where this is all wooded, holding this way out like this again, you can see just how much light this is projecting. And then obviously the concentrated beam is just, it really is something else. Let me zoom in over here real quick. Tap the screen, get that to focus. Maybe there's some animals hiding in the bush. We have wolf out here. Maybe less likely to see a wolf, more likely to see a coyote, black bear, bobcat, lynx, possibly mountain lion. I still feel like there is mountain lion in the area. I have some trail cam footage that could be argued it is a mountain lion, but nothing definitive. But those treetops, well over 150, 200 yards. It's crazy. So yeah, anyway, that's it. Just a quick little demo for you guys. All right, wanted to show that here at the tail end of this video. So TN42 V2, everything the first one was, but better. It's just really cool. If you need to reach out and light something up, this is a great option. So anyway, that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.